Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Wednesday, December 29th, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. We've got Innistrad Crimson Vow on deck today, and as we get in here to pack one, pick one, just want to let you all know that and remind you that this will be the last week of Crimson Vow season where we will be doing a draft each weekday. Beginning next week with the new year, we're going to be switching to Tuesday, Friday drafts until the release of Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, which will release roughly February 10th or so, and so that the format can have time to kind of wind down and we can get ready for Kamigawa. We're going to go Tuesday, Friday drafts beginning next week, so keep an eye out for that. As we look here at Pack 1 Pick 1, every card sucks except one, and I think this card kind of sucks situationally too. I've had this card twice, and it's been mediocre at best each time. They always have removal for it, and God forbid they have this card's imprisonment, because if they do, then this card is an active liability for our deck. So, look, I'm going to take it because its upside is high, but I've never seen that on my side of the battlefield. So, you know what? We're going to take it and see where we can go from there. Another underwhelming pack, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to take Grisly Ritual this early, but am I going to? Maybe. I don't want Demonic Bargain. Black-White might be a good spot to put this kind of card in, but Dawnhart Geist wants to really go in blue-white. Falkenrath Celebrants is fine, but are we willing to branch into a second color already? I guess I'm just going to take Grisly Ritual. There's an argument for maybe Ceremonial Knife too, but I'm going to take the removal spell here that matches up with our first color. Yeah, we'll take a Socialite here. So we're cutting black hard. I think last pack we passed 0 black after this, after the ritual. And if we take this, we pass 0 black again. So our neighbor is almost assuredly not going to be in black, which means we can likely get hooked up in pack 2. If this wasn't here, next best card is probably Drogskull Infantry or Chill of the Grave or something like that. But we'll definitely go ahead and take the Socialite here. So there is a black card, but it's not a good one, at least for this style of deck. There's a Drogskull Infantry, there's an Anger, there's an Epicure. I guess Epicure is decent enough because we are looking to be a little bit vampire-y with this deck. And Vampires and Voldaren Epicure goes well in that kind of shell. Flourishing Hunter seems fine, but black-green doesn't really have a lot of synergies I'd like in this format too much. So I'm going to take the Epicure here and kind of feel out black in these packs. So here's another Socialite, which is good. We already have a ton of ways to make blood. Every single one of our card makes blood, and all but one of them make it for ourselves. But we'll go ahead and take the black card here in Socialite, which is pretty good, and see an Edgar's Awakening. So we'll just go ahead and keep cutting black. I do like black, but it has been way overdrafted here in the past couple of weeks, to the point where it's if you get the first pick, Bleed Dry or something like that, you get so hard pushed off of it. But it seems to be relatively, not necessarily open, but at least not super cut from our right this time. There's another Epicure, which wouldn't mind in this deck, but I'll go ahead and take Edgar's Awakening here. Really works well with our Blood Vial Purveyor. And then now we're seeing the late good black cards, Scavenger and Blood Fountain. I was actually going to say I'd look for a Blood Fountain if we have a card like Purveyor, but we'll go ahead and take Scavenger first, because now that we got an Awakening, that kind of functions similarly as Blood Fountain. So we'll take our first Scavenger. Here, not really looking to play any of these cards. There's an Heirloom for splashing. Any of these don't really go in this deck. Aim for the Head is like a fringe playable. And this is if you get some kind of exploits energies, which we currently do not have. So I guess I'll just take Aim for the Head, but it's not. None of these cards are really cards I'm looking to play. So here's the wheel. Best card that wheeled, maybe a Wretched Throng or a Dawnhart Disciple. Sure, we'll take the Throng, but don't really want to play any of these cards either. So put that right into the sideboard. And I think we'll get hooked up with black in pack 2 because of how hard we cut it here in pack 1. So let's hope we can get access to a couple of Bleed Dries and maybe another Scavenger, things like that. Okay, we'll take Knife here. Knife is a good pickup for really any deck, but we're looking to have a lot of blood synergies here. Guess we'll take Chill of the Grave. Maybe we go blue-black and we get pushed off red hard, but right now we have a lot of vampires wanting us to be red. To pair with black, I mean. This is better in blue-black than the Pyre Spawn is in really any red deck, so I guess we'll take that. Let's hope we open an Anji in pack 2 to kind of just secure us down red-black and lead us to another really good draft, because that card is busted and has done really well for us whenever we've had it in our deck. Don't ever play either of these cards unless we're splashing with Honored Heirloom, so we'll just take that. And last pick, whatever. Kind of whiffed. But let's see what else we have. We have Kessig Flamebreather, we have a Braid, and we have Undead Butler. Undead Butler's pretty good, but again, we have a Awakening if we want that style of effect. And I think removal's very, very important. So we're going to take the Abrade. I wouldn't fault you for taking the Butler here, but I'm going to go ahead and take the removal spell in a color that we know we kind of want to be. I'll take the Scavenger here. Wouldn't mind Wheeling, Pointed Discussion. Catapult Fodder. Well, it could be decent in this deck. I doubt it'll wheel, but you never know. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and take the Scavenger here because that's the card we know we want. So what is this deck looking for now? We're looking for removal, Abrades, Flame Blessed Bolts, Bleed Dries. We're obviously going to take any of those we can find. And we're looking for low curve creatures. We have no 2-drops and no 1-drops and no 3-drops. So we need low curve creatures that work well in this deck. Blood Tithe Harvester would be great. Ragged Recluse is probably fine. I think we're going to take this because this is really good in a deck with a lot of blood. I wouldn't mind playing a Reckless Impulse. In fact, I would like to. But we just mentioned we need low curve creatures, so we're going to go ahead and take the Ragged Recluse here. And then kind of get cut out of black and red. We'll take Grisly Ritual. I don't know if I want to play 2, but I'm not playing anything else here, so we'll take that. Black-red is probably the most overdrafted, or the most drafted color pair in this set. All we have so far is an Epicure and a Braid in red, which is not good. Again, no red. Only black is Blood Fountain, which I'm going to take. There is a Skull Scob, so we can think about kind of doing blue-red. And maybe that's worth it because of how, like, red is completely cut at this table. There's probably 4 or 5 red drafters right now. So we could take Blood Fountain, but there's also Skull Scob, which works well with a single Wretched Throng, and Chill of the Grave, things like that. So I'm actually going to take Skull Scob and see if we can hedge our bets with blue-red. Or blue-black, I mean. There's a Lacerate Flash, there's a Vampire Kiss, and a Rot-Tide Gargantua. There's also these few blue cards. I think I kind of want to start leaning blue-black here. We have a good blood package already, so our vampires and our blood is going to be fine. This even makes a blood. There's also Chill of the Grave. We have access to one already if we want it. Rot-Tide Gargantua is fine. But let's see if we can kind of get into blue-red or blue-black. We'll take another Socialite over a first Scattered Thoughts, although our 4-drop slots are getting really, really crowded. And here's a Skull Scob, so blue-black is open. So we need to move into blue-black here. And I really regret not picking up that Skeleton earlier, but we couldn't have known at that time. So, awesome. Here we are. We are in blue-black, and we have a Mind Leech Ghoul, which is not bad sacrifice fodder for things like Skull Scob, maybe. Can even sacrifice itself to make them exile the card and get a 2-2. So it's basically a 2-mana 2-2 that makes them exile the card. There's also a Syncopate, which I think I'm actually going to take over that card specifically. Selhuff Entomber, Vampire's Kiss. We'll take another Entomber. Don't even know if we'll play one. There's a Specimen, so that works really, really well with our Skull Scobs. And if we were to get access to a with a 5-drop one as well, there's an Heirloom. And no one cares about blue-green and Wanderlight Spirit. Okay, so whoa, there's a lot of cards here. This is a really, really good pack for a lot of people. Let's put Chill of the Grave in here. Let's put Wretched Throng to know that we have one. We can prioritize the second one pretty highly. We have double Selhoff Tumor, but we don't need those right now. So for blue-black, let's see, Scavenger, but gosh, look at our 4-drop slot already. We've got 6. It's a good card, but I don't know if we can afford to take another one. There's Patchwork Crawler, which I think is okay. I don't know if it's much better than maybe it's probably better than Gargantua or even Undying Malice. I think I'm going to take it. Again, it is a 2-drop, and we are looking for low-drop creatures to make sure we don't die to aggro. So I think I'm actually going to take the Crawler. I think Scavenger is a better card, but the fact that we have like 6 4-drops already is insane. Okay, so there's another Skullscob, but you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try to wheel this one, because we wheeled the last 2, and I don't think there's a blue-black drafter at the table. What I'm going to do is take Lantern Bearer, because we need exploit fodder for these 2 Skullscobs, and I'd like to get one of these back, because there's this one if the Skullscob doesn't come back, and there's also one in the last pack. I'd like to get a Gargantua, but we're going to go ahead and take Lantern Bearer here. So here we've got Stormchaser Drake, which we can target with Lantern Bearer. And that's it. There's also a Blood Fountain, which I do want access to. There's also a Siphon Essence, which I would not mind playing another one, but we do have Siphon Essence and Syncopate. I want my first Blood Fountain here. The Stormchaser Drake is not looking to be great in this deck, although it is a card that I do like. So we're going to take the Blood Fountain. Really want access to at least one Blood Fountain in this deck. And then here we kind of swing and a miss, but we'll take a Syncopate. I think I don't mind playing 2 necessarily. Don't want to play 3 Grisly Rituals. Okay, so now we have Scattered Thoughts, second Blood Fountain, Courier Bat, Doom Dissenter is exploit fodder. Do we have life gain? No. Scavenger is life gain, but that's not really what we're looking for. There's Doom Dissenter, which works well with double Skullscob. There's also Scattered Thoughts. What's our creature count at? 13. I'm going to take Doom Dissenter in the hope that I wheel or pick up a Rot-Tide Gargantua here at some point, which is exactly what we got here. So we will take that. We'll take another Siphon Essence. Don't want 3 rituals, and I'm honestly probably going to cut the second one here. None of these cards matter. Maybe Skywarp Scob. Maybe that's a card we can consider playing, but we'll see. There's the Gargantua. We got one of them already, and honestly, we have a lot of high drop creatures here, but we have some good exploit fodder and good reasons to want to exploit. Wow, it didn't come back. Someone took the Skullscob. Oh wait, yeah, I think it would have been in this pack. That's really surprising. I didn't really see that coming. Definitely thought it was going to wheel. Could have sworn we were the only blue-black drafter at the table, but apparently not. So let's get rid of one of the rituals. Don't think we need Wash Away. It's just 3 mana cancel. We did not get there on Wretched Throng. Ragged Recluse is still going to be fine. We probably don't need one of these Socialites. And then with 15 creatures, Skywarp Scob might not be bad. Double Essence, double Syncopate, little exploit package. Lots of high drops to be able to push through some damage. Double Gargantua will be good for us. I think we got a decent little package here. Okay, so we definitely want 17 lands with this higher curve. Got 15 creatures. I do like all of them. Maybe a second Socialite could go. Let's see what we have down here. Double Essence, double Syncopate. Chill of the Grave is fine because we have 8 zombies, so it's going to actually be pretty good. Edgar's Awakening, and I do like a single Grisly Ritual. We didn't get any Bleed Dries. So, I'd like to play at least one copy of this. Edgar's Awakening will be good. I think we need to keep our creatures, so it's probably cutting a Syncopate or a Siphon Essence, and I think I'd rather have Siphon Essence than a second Syncopate. So, Yeah, I think this is how we can run it back. We ended up with no 3 drops, but at least we have double Siphon Essence to fill that slot if we need to pass with 3 mana. And 9/8 seems fine. Yeah, alright, well let's pray we don't go up against white and have this thing get Sigarda's imprisoned again, because every time that's happened, they just constantly create blood tokens, draw themselves out of it, and then we lose because we had a nice rare that they had to find the answer to, so. Alright, let's get into the round 1. As we do so, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel if you would not mind. Be greatly appreciated to help out the future of the channel, as we've had a ton of drafts here on this in this format, and we're going to have a ton going forward, so I'm super excited about that. Yeah, we'll keep this 2-drop Siphon Essence. Chill of the Grave if we don't need to counter something. Alright, not bad. So next turn we can hold up Essence. Okay. Would we trade Geist for this? I don't know. Maybe let's see if they want to offer that. Alright, they have all 3 colors of their mana. This is a small thing. I probably should have played the Swamp so I could bluff Parasitic Grasp in case they go for some sort of trick. Nothing. Oh, okay. So that puts that in their graveyard. If we counter it. Okay, let's do that. Get that blood token, draw the land. At this point I am fine trading because they can put this on top of it now. Go to damage, sure, and we'll play our 4-drop. Okay, not bad. We will play at least 1 land here, and you know what? I think I want to keep these blood tokens around to actually use them. Right now we don't need to, so let's decline. They might even have Fierce Retribution now that they're getting priorities, so we'll just end the turn. Counter something if we need, tap something down if we don't. Yeah, I don't care about that. Sure, shuffle those back. Seems fine to me. Or is it just going to be 3 mana, look at the top 4, put 1 in your hand? Yeah, sorcery speed? If so, that's fine. Probably digging for a land, I would think. We'll dump our land here. Okay. Let's go to combat. Decline. So, do we play Gargantua as just a 5-mana 5/4 and then keep the shields down on Siphon Essence? I think we do because we have Chill of the Grave for next turn. So let's play Gargantua here, because that puts a lot of pressure on them. It also makes this cheaper, so we can, next turn we have all of these up and keeping this land for our blood. So let's see what they managed to land here while we're tapped out. Okay, not so bad. I think we want to push that damage through, so we'll tap this down, draw a card. We want to keep up Siphon Essence here. We're dealing... We can deal 10 to them, go down to 4. And then Siphon Essence counters whatever they play, gives us a blood, lets us have a lethal attacker next turn. Yeah, so let's actually get rid of the blood. Put them to 4. And then we can Siphon Essence whatever we want here. Okay, so not quite lethal anymore. Well, yeah, because we have Scavenger. And is there a creature? Yes, there is. Alright, so let's just do that. There we go. So they were playing white, and they did have the imprisonment. Thank goodness we didn't play Purveyor. Seems to be my kryptonite with that card on the battlefield. Yes, please. Oop, double mulligan to 5, that's not good. So what do we start on? We start on Crawler or Scob? I don't even know. This has an exploit trigger. So we might be able to like luck into drawing a Doom Descender or a Specimen, which is why I'm going to play this one first. Okay, now at this point I think we just need to get this on the battlefield. We'll decline and then attack. Okay. We aren't putting much more pressure on them than they are, so they're kind of lucking out here. Okay, still nothing. We'll draw more lands. Okay. I think we started this game with 4 creatures, 3 lands. Maybe we top decked a Chill or a Scavenger, I don't know, but I think we've hit nothing but lands this game. Alright, well Screw beats Flood, so let's see if they can get their way out of it here. At least we can tap down something. They did not bin a creature. That'll go to our yard. And they're going to hold up a counter. Okay. Can I interest you in yet another land? Okay, sure. Oh my gosh, how about another one? So we have 9 lands in our top 13 cards. That's nice. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so see if they hit anything to get back. We can use Scavenger. Cobbled Lancer. Okay. And Mind Leech Ghoul. Alright. So we'll pass... Do we even need to use Chill to Grave? I don't think we do. Oh look! Would you like your 10th land? Like, I make a lot of jokes about this sometimes, but... Tell me this is not, like, wildly statistically unlikely. Right? We have 10 lands in our top 14 cards here. We've played with 4 cards this game. Okay, whatever. Scavenger, let's exile their Cobbled Lancer here. Play Skull Scob, and then hold up Chill of the Grave. Okay, I think it's a joke at this point. Like, is something... What's happening? Did we switch our decks to like 36 lands in it or something? What are we doing? Yeah, I don't really want to trade. So, I don't know. I guess we can still attack. Maybe we can trade. Tap down their Mind Leech Ghoul and just get in. The Butler can't even return anything right now. So, 2 attackers and then we'll chill down this. Hey, at least we're protected from Syncopate. They can never Syncopate us for the rest of the game. So there is that. Well, they can Syncopate for X equals 3 here, and I never released my hand, so here comes the Syncopate. As soon as... Yeah. Or Siphon Essence. Yeah, sure, whatever. They're still at 3. So... I never released my finger yet. It still went on the stack, so... Arena being all glitchy for us. Okay, so they pitch a creature that they can get back with Butler. We don't have lethal here. They play a Gargantua, and we're probably going to have to get rid of Skullscob here. No land. Okay. Guess we're getting rid of the Gargantua. I know they can get it back here with the Butler. Let's see what we find. Okay. We can actually ditch that as well. So I know they're getting back a potential Gargantua. And maybe they exploit it to itself. Which means we can just play Specimen. Yeah, so we'll just play Specimen here. So that we're protected from that. Again, Screw usually beats Flood, but we don't have a lot of lands left in our deck, to be honest. So, theoretically, we're going to have decent draws from here on out. Okay, so here, now their deck's starting to kind of do its thing. Pretty good draw. Almost had the 10 lands to do it twice. So let's play Gargantua. We will sacrifice Specimen. They're probably going to have to get rid of Geralf so they can trade here. Makes sense. Resolves. We are again still protected from their Gargantua because we can return this at instant speed and sack it, so... Okay, fair. So we'll return our Specimen here. So we can play both of these cards. We will decline. Now we have 2 lethal threats. Okay. So if we attack with everything and they bleed dry our Gargantua and eat our Recluse, they still take 1. And then we can do Lantern Bearer, and then we have another more lethal next turn. So even with that risk... Okay, so they're just going to tap it down then. So we can still push through 1 damage with the Specimen here. We'd be throwing away the Recluse to do it. But we do have a flyer that they would also need to kill, and then this will untap, and then we can basically keep doing it over and over. I know they can drain us for a life here with the Witch by attacking, but I think it's still... that makes them tap their Witch. Let's hope we can close out this last point of damage here. Makes sense. Okay, alright, I see. Things are happening. We can at least counter their Gargantua on the way back down. Let's get in there for one. Alright, well they have some life gain here. They chose not to use their blood token, which means they have Gargantua, a decent card that they don't want to pitch, plus another card that we don't know about. And this will be a good attacker next turn. Theoretically, because we're going to counter their Gargantua. I would think they would play it. Okay, can't do anything about that. Okay, let's go to combat. Let's see if they kill our Gargantua or not. We do have the Scavenger, so we're going to make them use their mana and then drain them out with this. Probably want to kill the Guest, so they can't keep gaining life here. Seems fine. Okay, so they get rid of that. I really hope they don't have Siphon Essence here, because obviously this is lethal if they don't. Question mark? There it is. Alright. Another uphill battle. Is that our second Scavenger? Yep. There are 5 cards in deck. I never realized that. Maybe we need to switch to deck damage here, although this Gutter shortcut is kind of dealing 4 to us every single turn now. We'll just get rid of that. We'll get rid of this as well. And find another one. Okay, well. Alright. We can attack, but it doesn't do anything because they're just going to hit us back. So here we go. Cross your fingers. They stabilized at 1 and we can't draw our way out of it here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 4 lands in our top 4. Okay, let's do this. So we're on a 2-turn clock if we don't draw something this turn or next turn. These things switched quickly here. Very fast. Yeah. Yeah, that's not quite the draw we're looking for here. but at least it's not a land. We'd still have to find an answer to that exactly next turn. Okay, good luck. I don't even know if we have an answer to that. Grisly Ritual? We already used it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe another Chill of the Grave? We might have used that already too, so I don't think we have an answer to this. Looks like we're just gonna lose. Well, that certainly doesn't help. I don't even know what that does, but it probably ensures our loss here. Okay, let's see. We have 2 lethal threats we have to draw out of here now, so I think it's almost assuredly we're dead, no matter what. Because whatever we draw, I mean, it gets us a blood at the very least, so... Yep. Wow, didn't really think we were going to lose that one. Got them all the way to 1. We were at like 22 and they had like 1 creature on the battlefield, and we managed to just kind of draw literally nothing for the rest of the game. Alright, let's get in there then. Not sure there's much I could have done differently there. I mean, there was a moment where I was attacking with the skeleton, which is kind of offsetting their, or maybe even the lantern bearer, which was offsetting their Odious Witch drains. But I guess the critical point was them having the counterspell for our Diregraph Scavenger. You know, maybe we could have held it, but we had lethal at that point. They were going to get drained again with the Odious Witch, so we didn't have lethal next turn. So, yeah, just pretty unfortunate series of events for us there. This is a zombie, so that helps with Chill of the Grave. I think that's the game they also mulliganed to 5. So we lost a game where our opponent mulliganed to 5. Lots of things did not go our way there. Alright, let's see what they can get back here. A couple of really good things, including a Restless Bloodseeker. So we can knife this up. Gets us a blood token. They do get to return a creature, but they don't want to use it here. Okay. Okay. I think we'll keep the blood, because we don't mind having a 4th land here. There's the 5th land, which I guess we do need for Awakening. Yeah, let's go ahead and attack again. Fine trading this for the Bloodcaster at this point. They'll just go ahead and jump to get something back, and we'll probably counter it on the way down if it's the Scavenger. Either one, I would counter both of these cards. They're both really good. Alright. Make another blood. Don't really care about that. What do we want to chill? The Butler? Or the Bloodcaster? Probably just the Butler here. Don't need that land. I think I'll get rid of Island here. Doomed Center. Okay. Siphon Essence. I think we will play our 5th land. At this point, we're not winning this race if we go to attack. But we do have a Doom Dissenter. Yeah, because they can train this recruit here. So actually, I'm not going to attack. I'm going to play Doom Dissenter. And then end the turn. Hold up Counterspell mana. Okay, can't block it. Edgar's Awakening not looking particularly good on this board here. Can't remember if I've already said that. I might have just thought it. I don't know. So we can syncopate for X equals 2. That doesn't work, so let's just not let them have that. Okay, we don't need that. Lantern Bearer, pretty good here. We can syncopate for X equals 2 if we play Lantern Bearer. Yeah, so let's do that. And that might be a reason to keep the Crawler around now. But let's hold up Syncopate. Let's see what they do. They have an instant, so... maybe some sort of trick. I think we can let this one resolve. Okay, Specimen. So we have all of our exploit targets, but nothing to use to exploit them, which is not great. So make sure it doesn't flip back to night here, or flip over to night. For their Weaver, we'll play Specimen. Guess we'll just pass. I feel like we have a pretty decent late game if we're able to draw into those cards. I do not like that card being on the battlefield. So let's syncopate for X equals 3 because we can, and we're not going to use the blood. The card's just been surprisingly annoying this format. It doesn't look great, but it's just been pretty annoying. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, there we go. So let's play Skullscob. We'll exploit the Doom Dissenter here. We can bring back Specimen as well. We get 2/2/2s. Alright. Still doesn't flip tonight, which is good. And if we can trade off this Skullscob, we can awaken it. Edgar's Awakening. See if they want to let us do that or not. Might as well just bring this back then. Okay, so they're going to flip it to night here. We're going to use the blood. Get rid of all these lands we don't need. It's pretty good. So we can get rid of... I honestly think we need to get rid of this Bloodseeker. In case they return it with Undead Butler. So let's do that. Because this has the ability to be ridiculous in the late game. And we don't really have any attacks here, so... I mean, we can attack with Lantern Bearer. They're probably just going to trade it. We'll be trading 2 for 1. Okay, so here's a spot where we can try to do Skull Scob plus maybe a zombie. Maybe 2 zombies, just to make sure in case they have a removal spell for one of them. They do have a trick, though. So what if they have Witch's Web that puts it at 7? So we can do this. I think they do have Witch's Web, because they were getting priority for a green and a black earlier. So they either have Witch's Web and or Massive Might. And if they have 2, then we're kind of just getting owned here. But, yeah, let's just... Oh, wait, no, we need it. Oh, dang, we need a blood to pitch that. It's okay, we can still at least return it. Okay, so they're going to kill that and then let all this happen. Alright. Alright, well, do we go for it here? They're not playing white. They could have Bleed Dry, but... What can they return with Butler? Nothing great, to be honest. So we can knife up, like, just a zombie, attack, get a blood token, and then Specimen... End of turn. Next turn we can discard the Edgar's Awakening, the blood token, get back the Skull Scob, sack the Specimen, and then we can set up Purveyor, because at that point we're getting a lot of value, and they're probably going to feel the need to remove something. So I want to do that, because I don't want to just play this into a Bleed Dry. So let's see if they want to trade anything. Maybe they chump with the Butler, but... Again, they don't have anything outstanding to get back. Okay, that's fine. Sure. Okay, we'll end the turn. I think we get a chance to respond to this trigger. I'm really praying we do. I think they probably know that too. They're probably going to go for the Skull Scob. Yeah, so that makes our Awakening plan worse, but it's okay. So we could return nothing great. A Crawler or a Doom Dissenter, basically. they don't have Bleed Dry mana up right now. Yeah, I'll trade a zombie for that. Okay, so they don't have Bleed Dry mana up. They might have it in hand, but I think we're just going to go for it and hope they if they have Grisly Ritual, we can still play Blood Fountain. We can get it back next turn. So let's play it here. See what happens. Hopefully it's not an enormous liability for our deck again. I think we can attack here. That seems fine to me. We'll trade Scavengers. Alright, cross your fingers, no Bleed Dry. Okay. Yikes. Totally forgot about that being able to flip. Good thing is we can keep sacrificing this Specimen to the Traveler to make sure that doesn't flip. Right now this is going to be attacking as a 10-6 trample. 9-6. Okay. Let's go ahead and attack with it. If they have a trick, again, we can get it back in 2 different ways here, which is really good for us. Okay, so they'll take 9. Fine with that. Gonna pass it to Knight, but nothing cares about that right now. We can Blood Fountain this back if they try to kill it with a Grisly Ritual or something. I feel if they had a Bleed Dry, they would have used it. So I think we're riding on the back of this right now, not getting exiled. So yeah, let's cross our fingers. Okay, so that does gain them 3 life. And now they have a 6-6. They will be able to trade off for the Purveyor here, which I don't like. Oh, they're just going to get aggro with it. Seems like a decent plan for them. Yeah, that's a pretty good attack. Okay, do we chump, though, is the question. I think I do want to here. Because they have a lot of damage coming back on the backswing. Pass to damage. We can Edgar's Awakening. We can get rid of that and get back a Diregraph Scavenger and return this to protect us against the Traveler again. Pass to damage. This is attacking as an 8-6 trample. So it's going to get at least 6 damage through. 7-6 trample. Okay. Looks like they drew a land. So let's actually get rid of the Egger's Awakening, return Diregraph Scavenger. Can pay a black to do so. And then we can still return this to protect us against the Traveler here. Oh my gosh, all the lands now. We'll play Island. I think we'll go Scavenger. Get rid of their Scavenger. And then we can hold up Blood, or we can equip the Purveyor. So we're going to be taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the backswing here. Doing this, potentially 10. But if they have a removal spell, then we're in... I mean, we're basically dead. Yikes. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we sacrifice this to that and they have removal spell, we're dead. 8, 9, plus this is 15, exactly 16. Does that mean we can't even attack with Purveyor now? It might. Yeah, I think that means we can't attack because we're dead to removal. But let's see, if they remove our Purveyor with the removal that they theoretically have, they can still hit us for 9 and then we're dead next turn and we have no way to get out of that at all. But this means they can't attack unless they have lethal, which means they have removal. So no matter what, them having removal is very bad for us. So we're just going to get in there. Unfortunately, this is 10 and not... Oh, I forgot. Oh, okay, they're just going to save 2 damage here. It's fine by me. And then we'll sacrifice this. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... So 11, 12, 13, 14. So they're not lethal anymore. And we do still have a Blood Vial Purveyor. I forgot these bats still counted as blood tokens. Really grindy game here. Okay, I don't really care about that too much, at least not right now. Again, they can trade now if they wanted to. If they left everything back, which they will. We draw another land. Let's get rid of that. See if they're getting priority. They are, but they could just be the blood. So it's pretty good for later. What if we just Lantern Bared this and gone in with everything? Right now this is attacking as a 9/6. I would like to have this specimen on the battlefield so this doesn't flip. And to do that, we can go Lantern Bearer here plus specimen. Okay. So we have lethal. Again, removal kind of... Well, do we have lethal? So we attack with... They chump this with a 2. And they take... They block here. Then we have no blockers. But they don't have lethal on the backswing either. So I think we're fair to attack. Okay, so this is going to be a 9. Okay, so they're taking 4. Right now they're taking 7. Right now they're taking 4. Okay, let's go to damage. Right now it's lethal. Okay, that still doesn't do it. Well, yes it does, because now they go to 2. Okay, alright. Okay, fair. So now we can place Specimen, make sure that doesn't flip, and we have lethal in the air again next turn. They could attack us with everything for 9 down to 6. Removal again is bad for us. Do we care if that flips? Yeah, I think we do. Oh, this is a really tight game here. I feel like I could have played this potentially better, but these are the games that make Magic great. You know, win or lose, I'm fine with this one, because this one really kind of brought us on for the ride either way. But it's had a ton of tough decisions in here. Looks like they're digging for something. Hopefully they don't find the removal off of this. I think they have to have exactly Bleed Dry, is all I can think of. Because now they can't cast Ritual, or Grizzly Ritual, and Parasitic Grasp doesn't... Well, Parasitic Grasp does let them survive. No Flyer? Awesome. Wow, what a game. That was a really good game. Alright, so we're on the draw. We have 2 5-drops we really can't use. We do have kind of a 2-drop in Syncopate. Any land lets us Siphon Essence as well, so I think we can keep this. We have decent draws out of this. That was almost an accident. Meant to play the Swamp so that they don't get tipped off that we have Syncopate. No 2-drop. 2-drop. So what are we going to get rid of here? Maybe Chill of the Grave? I know we could get rid of an island. That's risky, but we do have 2 more turns to find another island. I'm gonna actually get rid of island here. That's not quite what we were looking for. It's a good card, but not really what we're looking for here. Would very like to draw a swamp. That's certainly not it, so... Let's do Blood Fountain, and then we gotta use that blood to get rid of something here. So it was risky getting rid of that island, but... we had 2 turns to draw another land. Fortunately did not do that, so... Take 3. No play? No, that's quite a good play. I guess we'll get rid of the Siphon Essence at this point. Draw another one. Alright, need a land just about right now. And even then, I'm not sure what we're doing with it. Yeah, that's not the answer, so... Looks like we'll take an L to the old Mana Screw. Five drop? Nope. They just... God, this deck is full of value. What the heck? So they have lethal now? Yeah, let's just use it while the getting's good. Hey, look. All we could do is Chill of the Grave something, or we can do this to chump. Alright, well, guess we're passing the turn. Miss the land again. They probably have a pump spell. No? Alright, well. That's another lethal threat. And that's something. So we have to double chump here. Yeah, we just lost a Mana Screw, so that's unfortunate. And these are the games where you realize why Magic has flaws. The last game is why Magic is great. This one proves that some games you just don't even get to play. It's a pretty good hand here. Can immediately exploit off the Skull Scob to get an extra 2/2. All right. Okay. Fine trading this for a Blood Petal Celebrant, which they probably will not take. So I'm probably going to take 3 here and see if they play anything better to chill at the end of their turn on their second main. And if they don't, then I'll just do it on their Blood Petal Celebrant. Okay. Probably gonna chill that now. Extra land is good. And Bloodcrate Socialite is good. Yeah, let's just play this then. This attacks really well. And it blocks their Celebrant, which is fine. Now if they attack with it, we're obviously not blocking, because that means they have a trick. But it theoretically blocks it well. Okay, so they don't have a trick. They don't even have an instant, which is good news for us. Do they sacrifice Lantern Bearer? That's great news for us because we can just Diagraph Scavenger. Almost assuredly searching for a land. And they did find it off of their second scry. Or off their scry. So we need to do this now to make sure that we can get rid of that Lantern Bearer. And then I think I'm fine trading any of these for any of theirs. Well, Rot-Tide Gargantua doesn't really have a good target right now. It does have Specimen, but it would take a long time to get that going. So I'm actually going to just kind of get in there and see what they want to trade with. Take 7. Okay. We already got our value off the Skullscob, really. Alright, so if they draw another land here, they can Lacerate Flesh our Socialite, likely. But we still have good attacks if they do that. We know they have nothing but non-lands in their hand. Okay, so they wanted to keep it all. So there's the land that they did top deck. And here comes the Lacerate Flesh almost assuredly. Now, see what we draw. Oh wow, okay. So there's Dead to Removal then. Well, not quite. Okay, so we can play the island. We can play Recluse and return Specimen, which would make Gargantua really good next turn. Yeah, so let's get in. They're going to trade for Scavenger. Which is fine. They take 2. We play Recluse. We can return Specimen, and then next turn we can sacrifice Specimen to make them sacrifice a creature, and we'll have 2 2-powered attackers attacking again. And we'll be left with a 5/4. Okay. So they're going to sacrifice Wandering Mind. We can push through 2 damage here. And then we have a lethal Lantern Bearer. This is something we did a couple games ago where we pushed through 2 damage to throw away a creature to put them to 1, but I think this time it's going to be okay. Because now we have 3 lethal threats on the board. Okay, hopefully they don't find an Abrade or something. But of course, the Wandering Mind now trades for the Lantern Bearer, which is not great for us. Do they have a zombie? No, so they can't cast that unless they play a land. And a Blood Petal Celebrant. Okay. And of course we top deck a land. So if we get in with everything, they chump, eat, and trade. If we attack with just these 2, they trade and trade. And we're left with a 2/2 versus a 2/1 and a 1/1 with potential flying next turn. Yeah, we don't want them to eat something, so we'll have to get in like this. They'll trade and trade. I think we just give the zombie flying now while they're tapped out. And then we can still return the Specimen here. So let's see. They do have Chill of the Grave they're probably going to use on this, but we know that. Okay. Siphon Essence is a good thing for them to hit because that means they can't use it now. Well, it's a good thing for them to hit from our perspective. A bit awkward to use that now and not on our turn, but I'll take it. Hopefully we just don't just top deck 4 lands in a row, like we have been known to do. Okay, so what we can do here is we can attack with Specimen, they have to block. Then we can return Specimen, sacrifice it to Skullscob, and get 2 2/2s. And next turn we have 3 lethal threats. Resolves. Play Specimen. Play Skullscob. And sacrifice Specimen. There we go. I think I'm actually going to play the land so we can have enough mana to do this as well. If we draw like a 4-drop, then we can do Specimen plus something else. Although we could have done that if I held the land as well, I suppose, but hopefully this doesn't come... I mean, I can't think of much that they can have. Maybe a Sweeper wouldn't be good, but even then we can return Specimen, but then they could play a creature, so I don't know. Let's... Okay, that doesn't do it. Looks like they found an answer to the flying zombie, potentially. No, that won't do it either. And that won't either, so it looks like we finally got there, even though we hit that land. Alright. They did have 3 creatures, but we had a flyer, so... Okay, so we got a decent hand here. I think we'll go ahead and keep it. A little bit off curve with Dissenter into Skob, but I think we're still going to plan on making that play here. Okay, so they have a 3/2 trample. Get 2 zombies out of the deal. Alright, so they clearly have a trick here, but we'll make them use it. They decided not to use it, and then just play a big old Child of the Pack. That's fair. I think we're just going to play our creature here. Make sure we can get this down. No attacks, and they're going to have another trick, but... Let's see if it's Massive Might. Let's see how they attack. So it's either Massive Might or Witch's Web, obviously. So if we block like this and they have Massive Might, then it trades for both of them. No, Witch's Web would trade for both. Again, I think we need to make them use it. So let's just get rid of this thing. Or try to. Let's see. If it's Witch's Web, this goes to a 8 power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this doesn't even get around Witch's Web. It gets around Massive Might, though. So at least there's that. Yeah, let's see what they want to do here. Sure Strike. That's even worse. Okay. Alright. Yeah, another land. We'll play Patchwork Crawler. We'll play Blood Fountain, and then we'll probably just tap down something on their side. They have another instant, so we just gotta hope we don't get run over here. Oh, God. Okay. Guess we're taking 4 again. At least we can remove something. Probably need to remove... God, I don't even know, because we're taking 4 again. No matter what. If we remove the child, this can get really out of hand with 2 more lands. But it can't attack next turn. It does have trample. Alright, we're going to take 4 and then hope we don't die. So again, we're not blocking, so we may as well attack. They're getting priority, so they have massive might, so we're basically just dead. Maybe they have 2 of them? No. So they have massive might, we know that now. They're going to do that, they're going to flip it, and they're going to have a couple tramplers. We'll play scavenger. And I don't think there's a way to get around massive might here. But yeah, especially with this having trample already. Yeah. Okay, we'll see if we can try to get around it next turn. No attacks. They're just going to do the same plan, play a 2-2 and flip it. It's a pretty good plan with Child of the Pack. Yep. Very inconvenient there. That doesn't matter at this point. Well, it's something. Don't know if it's enough of a thing. So they're going to have a ton of attacking power and can give trample to another thing in addition to the Packmate. So I don't know if we have a way out of this. And it's going to be really difficult to try to set up a scenario of blocking that will. This already has trample. I mean, I don't think there's a way. So what if we put 5 power of defense on this? And then blocked everything else. This already has trample. So is this lethal? So right now we're taking 2. And then we would take... Well, this isn't even a good idea to do that. So we would need to do this, trade, and chump. So right now we're taking 2. Theoretically, they could make us take another 2, another 3, which is not lethal. Yeah, they could give this massive might, or give that massive might is what they would do to save it. And then they'd be left with 3 creatures, we'd be left with 1. And it doesn't really matter what we do. We're basically just dead anyway, so. So they're likely going to massive might this one. Oh, Witch's Web, I think that'll do it too. And a massive might, they had both of them, so yeah. Sure. Alright, well, just got ran over by a red-green deck. Happens a lot. Those decks are good. So, at least we got to 3, but still had our win percentage go down. We have very up and down format, this format. We started off being absolutely horrible, then we went on a bit of a tear, and now we're going back to being pretty mediocre and not great. So, you know what? That'll do it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow for your daily draft.